Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Tyler Perry's Sistas, the season finale. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, y'all, let's get into it if we gonna get into it. Previously on Tyler Perry's Sistas. Maurice is getting set up by Q, honey, with the smothered and covered of it all. He calls and tells the trafficking cop that he has Sabrina and Maurice hemmed up, saying that they are the ones who are about to rob the bank. Zach is standing there in his Coogee sweater, getting ready to get into it as he gets into it with Miss Evelyn. That's what I decided to name her. And Bio is fiending like Jodeci over Danny. And scene. When the episode first opens up, the lady is still telling Zach that she wants, some of that chocolate, honey. Give me that honey love. She wants some of that chocolate. He's like, no, I'm in love. She said, oh, okay, yeah, I can tell you're young. He said, yeah, and I can tell you old. Zachary. I'm not about to play with Zach. Not an insult for an insult, honey. So she's telling him how she was in love 30 years and he left her high and dry. Now she's begging him to sleep with her. He's like, oh, okay, well, you know what? That's not my problem. Do what you got to do. She's like, I'm going to do it, Zach. Well, Zach is calling your bluff, honey, because he ain't buying nothing that you selling. He said, okay, well, then do what you got to do because I'm leaving. She said, I will call the FCC. Okay, we'll call the FCC and they can come see me, honey, because I'm on BET on Wednesday. Oh, child. Oh, my goodness. One of these days, y'all gonna come to this review and I'm gonna be so serious. And y'all gonna be like, what the hell is going on? But that's a lie. Moving forward. So anyway, she's like, child, I will call the FCC and you will go to jail. He said, you still got on a silk robe with flowers on it. Like, what am I supposed to do with that? Absolutely nothing, honey. Slide it to the side or lift it up or something. I don't know what you gonna do, honey. But you gonna find out. And, ma'am, he is not scared of jail. He has a season pass. Okay, so he's not scared of the pen. So she's like, I'll give you a few hours to change your mind. He's like, you don't listen. That's probably why your husband left you. Ma'am, I don't want it, ma'am. Whatever you have under that silk robe, I don't give a damn. I don't want it. She's like, you acting tough, but I know you're really scared. He said, I'm not playing with you. And you doing all this, like, who's to say, A, you won't ask me for some more, okay, once I give it to you. And two, who's to say you're not going to turn me in anyway if I do it? Yeah, I wouldn't do that, honey. I ain't even thought about that part, honey. She can't be trusted at all. She's like, yeah, I may want to do it again. He's like, well, I'm me. So, you gonna want to do it again. I'm just saying. Ooh, child. He said, that's a deal breaker for me. Zach, not you contemplating knocking down Miss Evelyn. I don't know her name, but I just think that she looks like a Miss Evelyn. I just feel like she looks like a Miss Evelyn. So she's like, oh, so you'll do it now? My girls hold me down, them boys mess around, and sing. When the episode first opens back up, she was like, so you'll do it now. He said, no, I won't. I'm out. Okay. So she's still telling him that she's going to give him a few minutes or a few hours to think about it. He's like, ma'am, you and your robe, get out of my life. Now, he didn't say that, but I like to judge it up. But he did look at her and he said, have a good day, ma'am. Honey, because she definitely looked like a ma'am sitting on that bed, okay? So he walks out and he calls Jake from State Farm. Hello? Hey, what up, bro? Nothing. What's going on? He's like, can you come to my crib? You sound bothered. He is. Your mama trying to sleep with him. He's very bothered. So get on down to the house, Jake from State Farm. In the next scene, Andy and her bralette, they're still at the office and Fatima comes in and she's not quite herself, honey. She fumbling, dropping stuff, forgetting things because, Hayden done came in there and shook her up since he said that he had footage from the airport. So Andy wants to know what's going on, but Fatima is like, no, you've helped enough. She was like, and I can help some more if you tell me what is happening. So Andy tells Fatima, I'm not going to tell Karen. So you can tell me, but you have to tell me. So Fatima is trying to keep it together, honey, but Hayden has her shooketh and Andy keeps trying to get it out of her. She's like, just tell me what's wrong. She was like, nah, I'm good. But I do want to talk to you about Karen. She almost got 2-piece last night, no biscuit. Okay. Andy is like, what? Why you always choosing violence? Like, it's like you wake up and choose violence. Ma'am, Karen carries around a pistol underneath her bell bottoms tucked into her boot. So all your friends choose violence. Okay, you the only one sitting up there talking like, Gary, please go. Leave now. You and Sabrina the only ones that don't choose violence, honey. So I don't know what you're talking about. So Andy's like, why do you do that? Fatima just looking. Fatima's like, well, you need to tell her not to come to our house unannounced. So Andy said, I told her. I did, and she regrets it. She really does, especially after the baby mama showed up. She's like, I see she told it all. If I'm gonna tell it, then I gotta tell it all. Shout out to Usher. Baby, she said damn near cried when I got that phone call, honey. Ooh, Zach is definitely giving Usher, honey. These are my confessions. So Andy's like, girl, another baby? Like, how you having another baby? He having babies here, there, and everywhere. So Fatima goes, yeah, she said it's his, but I don't know. So Fatima starts laughing because Zach is cute and all, but he always in something. So Andy is like, that's funny to you? Andy, she's laughing to keep from crying or tearing some shit up, okay? Because we already know Fatima ain't wrapped too tight. It's cute for TV, but if I met somebody like Fatima in real life, I'd be like, girl, I'm only going to call you when it's time for me to break the glass. And I hope y'all know what I'm talking about. You know how when you in a emergency and you're in dire straits and you got to get out, honey, you got to break that glass in order to get the weapon. That's the only time I'm calling Fatima, honey, when I need Pookie and them to handle my lightweight. I'm just saying. So she was like, girl, I mean, his lack of judgment has me questioning him sometimes. Like, I question if he's all there. She's like, he's a really good man, and I feel like he's never had a woman ride for him like me. And girl, his mama is awful. Zach has been to hell and back. Do y'all hear me? To hell and back with gasoline draws on. So Fatima was like, I just feel like he's never had a woman like me, and I just feel like I can make him a better man. So while she's saying all that, Andy just sitting there looking. She said, why are you looking like that? She feels like Karen told her the exact same thing. Fatima, she's listening, but she heard the same thing from Karen. The difference is that Zach wasn't ready to make those changes for Karen. That's the difference. So Andy starts to give this analogy, about this lemon that she bought and she fixed it up, but it was a piece of junk. No matter what she put into it, the car was still a piece of junk. So she sold it for a huge loss, but she put in all that work and it wasn't even worth it. Fatima said, he's worth it. Andy said, I believe you. I believe you can make him great again, but it's going to be some work. Andy, you kill me, honey. You got all these analogies for Fatima, but can't figure out how to get away from old trifling, stalking Gary. But the analogy was cute, though. Girl, in the next scene, Sabrina is grabbing a juice and Bayo shows up. Sabrina is not feeling him. Now, y'all already know how Sabrina is. So Bayo tries to apologize again for fiending over Danny. Bayo, I hope you're not a nut job and a stalker, too. How you know Sabrina was going to be there? Let me find out you've been following her from that little bit old apartment. So he shows her a picture of the women of Missouri. He's like, look at this picture. Doesn't this look like Danny? So you could pretty much tell Sabrina anything. And she was like, oh my gosh, yes. He said, I wasn't trying to be rude, but these women are beautiful and they're very special. Well, honey, why don't you go back there and get one of those beautiful special women? Because I don't want you gawking over my best friend. Honey, what is wrong with you? I don't care what kind of picture you show me. It could be the Queen of the Nile. I still don't want you looking at Danny and drooling every time I bring her around. What if I bring her to one of our 15 weddings? Then what? Ciao, goodbye. So he's asking for her forgiveness, honey. You know how they like to do. And she's like, I got to get to work. So he was like, will I see you again? She said, yeah. How soon is too soon? Sir, she will see you again. That's all you need to know. Now, if it's one thing Sabrina going to do, it's hold a grudge. You better ask Calvin. Honey, she ain't going to let him live this down. Okay, Calvin showed up in them panty drawers and he ain't been right since. He ain't been right since. So she sends the picture to Danny as she's walking out of the shop. And Danny is like, who are these women? Sabrina said, don't they look like you? Danny said, girl, have you seen me? I know that's right, honey. But let us see the picture. Let us see. We'll be the judge, honey. We'll be the judge of that. So she's like, Bayo sent me this. That's why he was looking at you like that. Danny said, girl, you believe that? Try you believe any old thing. She definitely believes it. And she's like, yeah, he showed up to the juice bar. Is that weird? It's little weirdo vibes all the way up and through. Okay, it's weird for him to be gawking over Danny. It's weird of him to show up at this juice bar and just buy this green juice for no reason. And how did he know you were there? And I've never seen you have a routine before work, honey. You go straight from the T9G apartment over to the empty bank and trust. So Bayo is giving weirdo to me. Honey, that's just my opinion. Moving forward. In the next scene, the trafficking cop shows up to the airport and asks Danny if she told Sabrina what he said. And she's like, no, but you got the wrong person. So then he gonna say, well, did you like the dinner last night? What dinner? She got all dressed up with no particular place to go and didn't even get to eat. Not you sitting here asking about a dinner you didn't pay for or stay to eat. Sir, please be quiet. She was like, yeah, before you got all strange. Where is Preston? Okay? Where's Preston? I don't want to hear nothing else from the trafficking cop. I don't like this man's character. I don't like it. Go away from me with this. Just go. So he apologized and he tells her that he can't be seen with a person that they're investigating. She's like, oh, okay, so you are investigating my friend. He's like, you know what? I'll talk to you about it at dinner. She was like, I'm not going nowhere with you. You're trying to take down my friend. Why the hell would I go to dinner with you? You're not making any sense. He sure ain't. I know that's right. Sir, kick rocks. Okay, that was your third strike. In the next scene, Gary shows up to Andy's office and Fatima happens to pass by. She's like, what are you doing here? He said, I'm here to see my lawyer. She said, Andy doesn't want to see you. He said, that ain't my lawyer. Oh, hell no. Oh, no. Hell no, boy. Y'all done up and done it. If you don't bit. Oh, okay. See, Gary, who you calling a somebody's scorned? Somebody's bitter. Okay, all of a sudden she's a bitch. But you were just losing your rabbit mind in that holding cell that you call an office, spying from across the street with your telescope. Child, please. So Fatima said, what did you say? He said, you heard me. So Fatima done already went to jail this week. So she was like, you know what? Okay. So she leaves and goes right into Andy's office. She's like, girl, I left my laptop at home. I have to go get it. So she was like, you do know Gary's here, right? She's like, I don't want to see him. Fatima said, he's not here to see you. Child, they see Gary going into Hayden's office. So they sit down, right? So Gary asks Hayden if he bought an apartment for somebody, can he get it back? He's like, who did you buy? You bought her an apartment after I told you about old boy? He was like, yeah, the one that you thought was gay. Okay, that's how dumb you are. But Gary, you're a dummy as well. Because why would you go to an idiot to have him represent you in a case and he can't even decipher what's going on right in front of him? That ain't making no sense. And no backsies. Okay, the apartment is in her name. I knew she should have never taken anything from him. He's bitter, he's petty, he's Gary. So Hayden tells him that he can sue Andy for it. He's like, yeah, I like that. Hayden is like, I would love to, file it for you. We're in 2 separate divisions, so I'm down for that. Anything to go against Andy and Fatima. So Gary said, I want to sue her for the car too. Yeah, the car too. Hayden is like, oh, okay, well, why not pain and suffering? These two right here, they need to be written off. I hate for people to lose their jobs and whatnot, but honey, I'm getting sick of seeing it. I don't want to see it no more. I'm sick of it. I don't want to see it no more. So Gary goes, yeah, pain and suffering. What kind of suffering have you encountered? Absolutely none. The only people that have suffered are the women that you leave in your wake. Jasmine, honey, we ain't seen her since. What happened to her and her rubber bullets? Andy, taking her out to a faraway land and leaving her out there for the cops to take her home. They took her cell phone. Honey, you left her out there stranded. You went to jail, gave her some money to hold. You got out. She got back with you. You tried to crack her ribs. Everybody's suffering but you. Gary is the worst type of man. You can't shake him. And once their narcissistic asses realize they have no control over you, they work on their get back. It's a nut job. He's crazy. And Hayden is disgusting, honey. Just a side note. In the next scene, Jake from State Farm shows up to Zach's place. Hey, Jake from State Farms. So Zach is like, can I trust you? He's like, yeah, I thought I proved that. We don't know you, Jake. And I'm with Fatima. I don't trust you yet. We don't know you. So he's like, no, look at me in my face, bro. Can I trust you? So he tells Jake that Miss Evelyn is blackmailing him and wants to have sex. So Jake is like, well, I mean, is she fine? Sir, this man and his sweater are stressed. Nobody feel like playing, okay? Nobody feels like playing right now. So Jake is like, so what if she comes back? He's like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, honey, as fine as he is, I know I would be back. Why you think his wife got all them kids? Baby, let me tell you something. Honey, I'm dropping trout as soon as I see him, okay? He can't dot that dough good enough for me. So he was like, yeah, well, maybe you could not make her come back, like make it be bad. Maybe don't take a bath. He was like, I don't know how to be bad. I don't know how I'm going to be able to do that. So Jake thinks that he can face the FCC if he had to, but if they have evidence, then she could be a witness. And Zach, you might be screwed. So as they're talking, Fatima pops up and she overhears them. So Zach tells Fatima, about the indecent proposal. You need to make the room pitch dark. This is just my thought. Make the room pitch dark and send in your stunt double. Or make the room pitch dark and, bring a toy or two. Use that, honey, and not your member. Honey, I'm just trying to get you out of trouble. I don't know. Y'all can drop y'all scenarios down below. What could he do? I'm just trying to give him an out, honey, because I'm so tired of Zach suffering. So Fatima is pissed that he told Jake because she doesn't think he can be trusted. And I don't either. So Fatima is like, listen, do what you got to do. Zach said, Fatima, don't play with me. The way he said that, y'all, when he looked at her, oh, I hollered. Zach don't even be acting. I think he just get the lines and then be his actual self. He's like, look, I'm going to be myself, but I'm going to put a little zhuzh on it. This is who he really is. Zach, you better figure it out. But not Fatima pimping out Zach, putting him on the whole stroll. Ooh, it's giving, I'm in a bind, Nate. This episode here, Tyler, this finale was awful. Okay, I'm just going to say that. But you already know I can find the humor and the good in anything. I wouldn't trust nothing about that lady. Nothing. Why are you popping up now threatening me? Like, why? She's like, I'm not playing. And you better wrap it up. You already got enough kids. Child, she really said sex her up and be home in time for dinner. Fatima. Moving forward. In the next scene, Pam is at the mastery of it all. Making sure that Karen is getting enough water and enough rest. So Karen is like, I'm good, girl. I just have a slight headache and I'm kind of dizzy. She was like, do you smell that perm? Now, when she was saying that, I was like, it's normal for you to have a heightened sense of smell because pregnant women, they smell everything. And I do mean everything. And your senses can make you want to upchuck at any given moment. So that wasn't abnormal to me. So she was like, I'm going to go lie down. I'm going to go in the car. I'm going to just sit for a minute. So Pam looks down and she's like, Karen, you're bleeding. Girl, you better head to the Perry Hospital. I think Tyler is going to scare Karen, but I don't think it's going to be a miscarriage. For the simple fact that he wants to drag on this foolery with Fatima and Zach. Because if she has a miscarriage, what is Karen really going to talk about? And we ain't seen Aaron since. Aaron going to run to the hospital. And he's going to be like, is everything okay? Y'all already know. Aaron going to show up out of thin air, child. In the next scene at the airport, Cowboy's back in his hat and his flannel. And he goes over to speak to Danny. She's like, did you buy a ticket? He said, yeah, I did buy a ticket. I bought a ticket home. She's like, oh, okay, we'll have a safe flight. He said, no, I'm going home for good. Danny, quit playing, girl. Your man is leaving. He's like, there's nothing left for me in Atlanta. I mean, the only reason why I was staying as long as I did was because of you. Baby, she is putting up this tough act. Danny, you don't have to do this. He said, Danny, I'm willing to do any and everything to be with you. Like, I only want to be the man that you need to love you, Danny. So then he pulls out this single plastic rose and she's like, the rose is plastic. He was like, yeah, that's the point. I gave it to you so that the rose won't die and neither will I love. Oh my God. Let me tell y'all something. Normally I'm not a sucker for the loveation in the stories. But baby, when he said that and the way he was looking, how he was looking, I was like, oh my God. Danny, if you don't go and fix it, Preston, I'll take you. Child, he got me feeling like Maurice. Preston. Preston, I will take you, honey. Danny, quit being so prideful, honey, and at least go talk so you can make sure that it's over. I've seen women take a man back with less effort, honey, for some 9-laters and a big red. If you don't go and talk to this man, oh my gosh, this is a mess. He's like, Danny, please. So he tells her, don't say anything because I made up my mind to leave. And if you say something, then I'm going to stay. He said, I love you, Danny. So she got tears in her eyes. And then he turns and walks away. When I tell you I would have ran up on him and grabbed his ankle. I would have grabbed that ankle so good. Girl, you better not let him board that plane. Ugh. I feel like when Whitley was about to marry Byron on A Different World, to have and to hold, baby, please, please. Honey, I would have been falling out. Danny, go get your man, girl. Go get your man. Say it with me. Go get your man, girl. Go get your man. Girl, why are you still standing here? So then all of a sudden we see Cowboy and his hat fade into the abyss. Tyler, I'm speaking directly to you. Do not write off Preston's character. Bring him back stronger than ever, ready to take his woman and start a life. If we want to get rid of anyone, let's get rid of Gary and Hayden's character. Let's get rid of them, not Preston. In the next scene, Zach gets to Miss Evelyn's suite, right? He's like, if I do this, okay, you have to promise that you ain't gonna say nothing. She's like, okay, I promise. Honey, she a lie. So he was like, I don't even know what I'm thinking. Like, I don't even know you. So you promising this to me? Like, what is this gonna mean to me? Absolutely nothing. So then he goes, okay, turn your head. Child, that remind me of my first time. Child, this is a story time. It's not really a story time. So, child, we go in the room and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, turn your head. He was like, turn your head. I'm like, yes, turn your head, honey. Let me get myself together. Oh, honey, I ain't gonna never forget that. But anywho, she's like, get naked. He said, well, dang, can I have something to drink first? This lady is really trying to get this cougar kitty tapped. Child, I am done. Zach can't do it, honey. He about to leave. And he's like, you know what? I can't do this. I just can't do it. So he gets ready to walk out the door and up pops Fatima. Well, honey, what she do that for? She's like, I just want to talk. So she comes in and sits on the edge of the bed. She said, who are you? She said, I'm his woman. So then Miss Evelyn gonna say, I don't do threesomes. Ma'am, I don't think this was her coming to join the party. Fatima said, oh, that's good because I'm not interested. So she tells her that Zach said he couldn't do it. So Fatima said, if you looked like this, he could. Fatima said, I can make him get it up for you. She said, would ya? Oh my goodness. You know what? At first I was thinking, not Tyler finna write Zach and Fatima having sex and this woman watching. That's what I was first thinking. I was like, okay, maybe she'll just be able to watch Zach have sex. But child, it didn't go that way. So Fatima goes, you know what? All this that you're doing right here, this is lame. Like, would you want this coming out during your divorce? Because I can do a press conference. I'm real loud. I'm not the type to whisper. So you're going to not say a damn thing and you're going to play dumb. She's like, I'm just so mad at my husband. Fatima said, oh, okay, Karen, that's a personal problem. He goes, hey, Karen, I see what you did there. Fatima looked at him like, zip it. Okay. She's like, you're not going to tell, are you? So Fatima said, that's up to you. Let's go, Zach. Not Fatima picking Zach up like the principal called her because her son was acting up. The way she summoned Zach from that room. Oh, child. In the final scene, Sabrina and Maurice are at the Empty Bank and Trust. Hey, y'all. So they're arguing like always. And she asks about Calvin. So Sabrina tells him about how Bio was drooling all over Danny. And Maurice is like, oh, okay, so that's why you asking about Calvin. Is he your fallback guy? He definitely is giving plan B. So while Sabrina's love life falls apart, the trafficking cop comes in and tells them you're under arrest for conspiracy to commit a bank robbery. Oh my God. Sabrina is like, you have the wrong person. He's like, hands behind your back. She's like, does Danny know? Here go Maurice. You know him? We're about to get some t-shirts made. Don't worry about it, Maurice. We're going to get you out of there, okay? Sabrina, Maurice, just hang tight. We're going to go get Danny, who's now everyone's attorney, even though she's a divorce attorney and she has not divorced attorneyed since season 2. We're going to go get Andy. So it's okay. Sabrina, you will be out before your dreads start to sweat, okay? Don't worry about it. I would never, and I repeat, I would never speak to Maurice, Calvin, or any of them ever again, because Maurice, this is all your fault. Now you kind of didn't want Q to stay there and Calvin coerced you and you went along with it, so therefore and thus and such guilty by association. But had Q not been around you and you been harboring this crook, I wouldn't be getting locked up, or Sabrina wouldn't be getting locked up. And that was the season finale, and we will be back in October. Now, honey, I can't promise y'all I'm going to be back in October, okay? Because Tyler Perry is not moving along, honey. And I just want to see what he's going to come up with if I don't review this show, okay? So y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about the finale. I thought it fell flat. There were so many other things and so many other ways we could have went. I can't wait till Rockin' Robin comes back and finds out that Hayden is helping Gary to sue Andy. Child, he gonna be in trouble. You were about to lose your job. Get this dance, honey. You about to lose your job. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.